First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. It's the former Lion and Ndamukong Suh on the tackle.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And they do finally get him, but he takes it to the 25. A big play there for Detroit. 48 yards. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. Now Blount. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Let's go now, let's go. Double right.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And that is incomplete here.
That one didn't quite make it to the target, but that's not always a function of the strength of the arm of the quarterback, is it? Sometimes there's just too much pressure there. In any case, the ball doesn't arrive.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. To throw is Stafford. Being chased, and he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It's the former Lion, Ndamukong Suh, in there to sack him, and that is 10 for him now on the year. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good, and the Lions are going to take a 3-0 lead. So an opening drive field goal maybe doesn't whip this crowd into a frenzy, but I think that they will take the early lead.
There's no doubt about it. They will always take the early lead, and maybe that celebration comes later if they play well and they can break things open. But right now, this is all about letting the offense just get settled in.
Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Glover Quinn there on the stop.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored, you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
To throw is gone. Throw right side is into the hands of his tight end, Everett. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. A play fake to Gurley. Now gone. And a quick throw here. That's complete. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. Out of the gun. Gone. Man open. It's Cup. He's got it. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. They get only 4 that time as that leads us to a 4th down.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle right away.
Super. Now you won.
Gronk going to keep it himself. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They only needed a few inches, but still some anxious moments there, but they do convert on 4th. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. From the 50, it's Goff. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. And it's complete. He's got it in the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Brandon Cooks with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Rams are going to take a first-quarter lead. Now Greg Zuerlein on for the extra point. Zuerlein connects on the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. Here's the Detroit offense now as they head back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Here's Stafford now on 2nd down. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
He kind of forced that one there, didn't he? It's almost like he predetermined where he was going to go with the football.
Yeah, he wasn't really going through progressions. He wanted to go to his top guy. You do that against this defense, they'll make you pay, won't they?
Yeah, they certainly will. They react very quickly to the thrown football.
And some room to work. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. And 12 yards that time and picking up the first.
So that's what that elbow in my ribs was all about. You thought they were going to throw the ball as well.
Absolutely. I think everybody thought they were throwing the football, caught him off guard.
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you have the courage to make that type of a play call, a lot of times you actually get rewarded.
Hey, go here!
They'll run again. This time it's Abdullah. And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on second down.
To throw on second down is Stafford. The left side completion to Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Stafford to Jones, enough for a Lion first down.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, they're typically running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And Jones has it over the middle. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. Back-to-back nice gains. That one for 14 yards and another first.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
They'll run it here with Blunt. And he's got room. And he'll be taken down just shy of the red zone at the 21. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on second down, Stafford. This is Riddick on the screen. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
From the red zone now, Stafford. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
And when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now a carry for Blunt. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
From the gun on 3rd down, Stafford. And he's got his man. It's caught for a Lion touchdown. Luke Wilson, his first touchdown on the year. And the Lions are in for 6. Extra point good by Prater. And the lead is now 10-7. Here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Now the Rams offense, they worked their way back on the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. He's going to air one out. And he backs it away, and it falls down incomplete. The former Pro Bowler Glover Quinn there making the play.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Now it's gone. And the open receiver, it's Robert Woods. And they'll get it all the way out near midfield to the 45. A good pickup there at 22. Now Goff on first down. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he's going to be out of bounds, but able to take it inside the 40-yard line. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Off play action. Here's Goff. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. On first down, it's Gurley. Down to about the 22 here. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
On 2nd down, here's Goff. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down. This will be the first red zone opportunity now for the Rams. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Two minutes remain here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. Took nearly the entire first half, but a first red zone opportunity for him here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. Now a draw as Goff gives to Gurley. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gurley. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. Just a gain of a yard, but it's going to set him up with a 1st and goal.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Ezekiel Ansah in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. First down, a bit of a disaster, and now on 2nd and goal, back even further. A shotgun snap for Goff. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Rams. Gerald Everett, his first touchdown on the year. And the Rams are in for 6. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is now 14-10. set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And Detroit getting set to go now. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Part of the reason they're here, no doubt, was his big performance in the NFC title game, and that's his first catch of the Super Bowl. Here's Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. To throw again. Stafford. He's going to let one fly, and that's caught inside the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action.
Monday.
On first down, Stafford here. That's going to be caught. And they do stop him, but he takes it all the way to the 2. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout, as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll try to run it in with Abdullah. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. From back at the 4, here's 2nd and goal. Stafford. A dump off for Abdullah. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit from the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. So we've come to halftime. It's the visiting Rams taking the lead to the break, as we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach, here's Prater now set to kick it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. The Rams offense now making their way out to take over. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace, because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. And this is incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Hey, 5. 17. 17. 17.
And the blitz does come. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. 35 yards on the return. Picked up some good blocks as well. And the Lions will have excellent field position here as they take over 1st and 10. So we get a look at the Lions offense as they get ready for their first possession of the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
Again, it's Abdullah. He'll pick up only a yard there, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 7.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Throwing on 3rd down, Stafford. And he fires one, but incomplete.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shot of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
Goff on 1st down. It's caught left side by Cooks. And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. Going up top. He's got a man complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A huge play that time for the Rams. 47 yards.
Here we go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and 12. Play action. It's gone. Forced out to his left. He's letting it fly for Cooks. And this is caught. He's got it. Touchdown, L.A. Brandon Cooks. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Rams add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his 2nd touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And Detroit getting set to go now. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first.
And the Rams got him. They bring him down. Aaron Donald in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Stafford. Over the middle here, it's Hilton. And all the way down to the 35. It's a big play there for the Lions. 41 yards. So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 35-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain down to about the 33. It was Ryan Glasgow who got him down.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
On 2nd down, here's Stafford. And the pressure gets to him and brings him down. Stafford is sacked. And Ndamukong Suh in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. Stafford now to throw. Flush to his right. And it's going to be incomplete. He was able to catch it there on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. And it's going to bring up 4th down.
Let's face it, perfection is something we all chase, whether it's playing this game or whatever we do. Hard to attain, but that's what they were searching for as that pass goes incomplete.
And I tell you what, he got it from 58. That had lots of leg behind it. He's got 9 points on field goals now. He's made 3 of them. That gets him a bit closer, but there's no question they need to start turning some of these 3s into 6s.
And for him, it's not his concern, right? He just goes out there when they call on him and goes ahead and puts points up on the board. But the offense has got to get together and figure out what's stalling their drives, so they have to keep calling on him.
The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The former first-round pick, Shea McClellan, in on the stop. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
Yeah, and they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with 3rd down now looming. And with the play clock running out, Sean McVay will take a timeout. And that's going to leave him with just 1 timeout remaining still in the 3rd quarter. We'll see if that comes back to haunt him. We'll be back. try and pick up the first with Gurley. And shedding through the tackle. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
On first down, gone. Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. Give him 6 on the play, and it'll bring up a second down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down. So the ball moves into Lion territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 45-yard line. On the draw, Goff gives to Gurley. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on second down is gone. And he's got his man on the out route. And he'll get it down here to the 43. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a third down. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms of points scored. They've had their moments, but this offense just a little too good, isn't it?
They really are, because no matter what you do to make an adjustment on defense, they've had an answer for it.
Yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. And Detroit getting set to go now. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. Out of the gun, Stafford. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Samson Ebukam in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. After the sack, Stafford and the Lions come up on a 3rd and long situation. From the end zone, Stafford. On the right side, it's Hilton with a catch. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. Despite a pickup of 16, they're still well short of the sticks on 4th.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up. Keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, but it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
They lose the yardage, and of course they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
17.
Now Goff steps away to his left. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
And the defense almost got one there, partner.
That could have been his first pick. He's been good so far, but you're right. That was nearly a costly mistake.
Sometimes you get a little bit too confident when the game's going along as it has been for him.
Possibly a turning point. Big play coming. This is 3rd and long.
14. Hey, lift. Whoa.
From the gun, here's Goff. And got a man, it's Woods. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. Now a first down throw. Gone. And that's complete to Cooks. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be brought down right at midfield after a gain of only a couple.
All right, that's a decent game there, but it hasn't been his best game overall. So I wonder what the mindset is of his team. Do they want him to handle the football and try and close this game out? Or are they going to make an alternative plan and maybe go in a different direction?
I think they need him, and this is his time to shine. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
Super 66.
Again they run with Gurley. And good penetration here. He'll get this down only to about the 49-yard line. Just a yard on the run there, and that's going to bring us to a 4th down. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it, get the first down, close it out.
And Detroit getting set to go now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Well, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And they're going to get this one all the way out across the 45. A good pickup there, 26 yards. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
Give me radar. Real right, 22. Hot. Check.
Time for a break. We're back to see what happens after this.
All right, here we go. 21.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Back to throw. He's got it to Hilton. 6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down. This is where you learn a lot about rookie quarterbacks. How can they run that 2-minute drill? We're about to find out.
Yeah, and for them, it's not just proving it to guys like you and me watching the game and trying to beat a defense. It's proving it to their teammates that they can have the confidence in them when they line up in these situations.
They'll look to throw. Hard throw, incomplete. Figuring they're going for it on 4th down. Remember, though, they do have all 3 timeouts, so even if they don't get it, all is not lost.
Yeah, normally in this situation, when you're talking about having to go for it, everything is in this play. But as you noted, with those 3 timeouts, they actually have a little bit of a safety net.
And down by 5, they've got to go for it here on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Now a desperation throw deep. And this is caught at the 20. And at the end of it, he's stripped. Ball comes loose. And the Rams have got it back. And they're not able to convert on 4th down.
Well, that simply is a missed opportunity. They're in position. If they take the ball downfield and score, they've got a chance to win the game. Instead, they cough it up. I don't think next week at practice is going to be a whole lot of fun for him.
On the other side, no bigger time to force a turnover when you've got that small lead.
Yeah, and when you look at it from the offense's perspective, taking care of the ball is so important. I know they're going to have all kind of ball security drills in practice all next week.
And Cooks has it over the middle. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. As they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go. 76. Tell them. 76. 76. Super 66. Super.
Goff going to throw it out to his left. Now he'll turn and throw it deep. And got his man complete. And all the way to the opposite 48. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Elsewhere, they're on to the 4th quarter at MetLife Stadium. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. And if they could hold on to that lead, it would be win number 4 on the season for them. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they will stop him after a fairly minimal pickup. Give him 3 on 1st down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now, we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
That's going to be a 6-yard gain. It leaves him with 3rd down and just a yard to go.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
A road win in the National Football League. Charles, you never take that for granted, no matter who you're playing, no matter where you're playing.
You take it and you run with it. And you know you primed the pump all week in your own home facility. No one thinks we can do this. Only people who believe are right here in this room. And then you go on the road, band together, and get it done.
So for L.A., they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Detroit, they fall to 6-6 now on the campaign. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.